The Samsungs and Apples of this world have always been ruling the smartphone markets, but that is sadly becoming less and less true. So, China, being a key player in the entire smartphone world, is bound to give birth to some amazing companies, and that's exactly what we've been seeing. We've seen Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus companies coming out of China and actually challenging the entire smartphone market and the smartphone world that has been here for the long time. And today we're talking about one such company. So we got to spend an event at the Gionee M7 Power's launch in India. And since I've been using that device for almost 2 weeks, I'm here to give you a full review of the Gionee M7 Power. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to Mr. Phone, do that, and also click that bell icon so that you get notified for these videos that I put out. First of all, the design of the M7 Power is actually quite good. It has a pretty good balance of metal and plastic with a very well designed camera visor. So the pattern is very attractive and even the back material feels so good. The texture is actually very addictive, and with different colors obviously have different textures, but they are all comfortable to hold. The metal frame makes it very sturdy and the buttons are very well built too. So buttons are something not many people talk about, but once you come across a badly designed one, that's when you really appreciate it. And spoiler alert, Google Pixel 2 has really bad ones. So the review is coming soon, so stay tuned. The only thing that bothered me was the huge size of it. There's no denying it that it's a big phone, and if you don't like big phones, then please turn your eyes away. However, the size brings us to one of my favorite features on the M7 Power, and that is the display. It's sharp, it's saturated, it's appropriately punchy, and it's huge. This can be your media machine. It made every video and every movie that I saw come alive in front of me, in front of my eyes. This phone made me watch a bit more than I usually did just because of how good it looked. The speakers aren't the best, but they aren't bad either. So you also get a micro USB port on the bottom with a headphone jack. Now let's move to the software and performance. This is somewhere I have mixed feelings. The M7 Power is a good performer, it never lagged, the RAM management is very good, and I even played a lot of games on it which felt awesome with that big screen. So while it may not be the best performer on the market, it is good for its price, and the performance isn't certainly an issue. What actually is an issue for me is the software. I straight up do not enjoy it. That's less of Gionee's problems and more of mine. I am a fan of stock Android and the simplicity that it offers. I like my home screen arranged the way I want, and I've never liked those Chinese iPhone-y skins that they put out on smartphones like Xiaomi, Vivo and Oppo, and maybe I never will. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It actually has a lot of cool features and a lot of pre-installed apps too. So what I did was I simply slapped the Nova launcher on top, which actually made things quite a bit easier, and I felt right at home. It isn't for everyone, but I think if you aren't too fixated on the stock Android, then you might actually like it. And the only thing that stood a bit too problematic was the amount of bloat or the pre-installed apps on the phone. It's crazy, from productivity and news apps to big games, they're all pre-installed on the phone. So it's definitely not for me, but some of you might love the fact that you don't have to go to Play Store and install every app. So that was software and performance. The other important part of the M7 Power is certainly the camera. We don't see flashy dual camera setup here, which I think it's for the good. At this price, it's very difficult to get a dual camera setup right because first of all, no one has done it. And secondly, I like the fact that Gionee has given focus to more important and essential aspects like the display and the battery. So you get a good experience. The camera of the M7 Power is a 13 megapixel shooter on the back, and it's a good one actually. It shoots very good looking pictures in bright sunlight, and even colors and details feel very right. Where it lacks is low light, and it just is terrible there. It is not surprising looking at the fact that even other devices in this price range like the G5S Plus or the Xiaomi A1 or the Redmi Note 4 got it right. So they are all pretty comparable, and you do get a lot of different modes, and it's again an iPhone-like layout, but I like it. The next feature is, I think, one of the most important features of this phone, and that is a huge 5000 mAh battery. The battery is what gives the M7 Power its name, and it's actually very good. I've watched a lot of movies on this thing, and I've charged it very few times in the last 2 weeks. This phone will easily last you 2 full days on casual use and easily a week on very light use. The battery, coupled with this beautiful, gorgeous 18:9 display on the front, I think it made for a very fun multimedia experience for me. So that is, I think, exactly who the device is for. If you want a device where you want to enjoy your entertainment and you want to watch your media or even listen to your music, whatever you want to do with the phone, it has a big screen, it has a big battery. So I think this is something that will never disappoint you if you do go for buying the Gionee M7 Power. So that was the Gionee M7 Power for you. I think it's a great device, and for a price of 15,000 rupees, I think it's not a bad deal. The links to buy the device are in the description. Please do follow that if you want to buy your phone. That helps the channel. And thank you so much for watching. That was the Gionee M7 Power review. If you did like it, don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Phone and also click that bell icon right next to it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Srihari from Mr. Phone, and I'll see you in the next one.